That is right. The $600 million fight is on, and it is between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. I believe the fight will be held in a few months in Las Vegas. I'm going to cover some of the crazy financials that are going to go along with this fight, along with a little bit of a fight breakdown itself. So anyways, let's get started here. So that's right. This fight is expected to earn, the entire event is going to earn roughly $600 million. So I'm going to break down where that number comes from and how much each fighter is actually going to make on this fight. And I'm going to break it down like per minute, per second that they're in the ring, how much money they will earn. And it's absolutely ridiculous. So please stay tuned here. So the pay-per-view money, for those of you that don't know, pay-per-views can range from $50 to $100 usually for boxing fights. Usually they're closer to $100 for big fights like this. And so they're going to sell for roughly $100 each, and they're expected worldwide, this pay-per-view is expected to bring in about $475 million. $475 million in pay-per-view revenue. That's insane. That is absolutely ridiculous for one event, for one fight. That's like, I don't even know how much the Super Bowl makes from advertising and everything, but probably the Super Bowl might make more money. I'm not quite sure actually. I might have to do a breakdown of that, like how much money the Super Bowl actually makes. But the pay-per-view for this fight, $475 million estimated that it'll bring in. Now, what also happens here, there's some other side money that comes in. There's $22 million expected in sponsors. Let's see, what else is there? There's roughly $2 million in merchandise, $2 million in merch. There is, of course, because it's a fight, it's a sporting event in Vegas, people are going to bet on it. And so the biggest comparable we have to this fight is the Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather fight, which happened, I believe, 2 years ago now. So in that fight, for those of you that don't know, Floyd Mayweather is undefeated, by the way. I know this is a business channel, but I'll talk about sports a little bit. Floyd Mayweather, he's 40 years old. He's undefeated, never lost. I don't know if that's ever happened. I think he's the only person ever to go 50-0 in his career. So he's 40 years old, and he fought Manny Pacquiao, who was again an older guy, but he was like his record was 55 wins and like 6 losses, and knocked a bunch of people out. And so it was a giant fight between Floyd Mayweather, the American, versus Manny Pacquiao, who was from the Philippines. He's the biggest Philippine celebrity that they have. Okay? And so for this fight, we have two megastars, one of which is Irish/American. He's a big American star, versus another American star, Floyd Mayweather. And so we have a kind of a comparable here. It's expected that there will be less betting on this fight because it's not a boxer versus boxer. Conor McGregor is an MMA star. He's done a little bit of boxing, but in large part he's a mixed martial artist, which is completely different. It involves a little bit of boxing, but takedowns, wrestling, and a lot of grappling and stuff too. And so the betting on this fight is expected to be 30 million. 30 million betting. Meanwhile, the Pacquiao fight was around 70 million because people were more comfortable with betting on a boxer versus a boxer, but this time it's going to be an MMA fighter versus a boxer, and so people are a lot less comfortable on actually betting on this fight. So betting is supposed to be expected to be half. It might go up. I'm not quite sure. And now but you also have ticket sales. Ticket sales are going to be at 77 million. Think about those numbers, guys. The average ticket price could be $3,000 or $4,000 for this fight, for one fight. It's the craziest numbers I've ever seen for a sporting event before. The Manny Pacquiao one versus Floyd Mayweather, that might be a little bit bigger, but still, it's absolutely insane. So I'm going to break this down on how much each fighter will earn. Okay, so we're just going to take a really rough estimate here. They're going to take a cut of the entire revenue, and I'm going to guess the total for each of them will be somewhere around like 15% or so. We're going to say that both the fighters in total will take home 1/3 of the total revenue of the fight. So roughly, we're going to say that the winner might make 125 million, the loser might make 75 million. Okay? It might be 50 million, 150 million, or it might be 100 million, whatever. 100 million versus 100 million. But this is just a rough estimate I'm going to break down. So we're going to say that they each earn $100 million. I might have to erase the board actually. So again, just a rough estimate, $100 million each. So how much will each fighter earn? So the entire fight is 12, it's going to be probably 12 rounds, 3 minutes per round, roughly. Sometimes it could be more, sometimes it could be less. It depends. I'm just going to assume it's going to be a basic fight, 12 rounds, 3 minutes each. So we got 36 minutes in this fight. We have 36 minutes. If they each earn on average $150 million, this is the crazy numbers here. So they will earn $2.7 million, $2.7 million per minute. Per minute. Now again, I actually don't, to be honest, it's expected that they could make $100 million each. I do expect them both to each make less on this fight. That's just a feeling I have, probably closer to on average 50 million each. Still tons and tons and tons of money. However, 100 million, that's just what we're going to say. So they're going to earn $2.7 million per minute in the ring if the fight goes the full 12 rounds. If it goes the full 12 rounds. So breaking that down per second, think about this. Per second, they will earn $46,300. That is more than the average personal income in the United States. And they will earn that in 1 second, for every second that they are in the ring, if it goes 12 rounds. And so that's the financial breakdown. Think about that, $46,300 per second. Per second. Oh, it pays to be a good fighter sometimes. So we're going to break down the actual fight itself and who I expect to win, where the money's going, things along those lines. So I'll give you background information. So again, I said Floyd Mayweather, he's 50-0, never lost. He's probably the greatest fighter. He's one of the top 3 of all time, but probably, he's the greatest of this generation for sure in the last 20 years. And so he is known for being the greatest defensive fighter ever. That's almost not debatable. He's the greatest defensive fighter ever. He doesn't take damage. That's why he's done 50 fights and he's still a pretty boy. He's never really taken a nice punch or anything before, like ever. All right? He's maybe been wobbled like once or twice ever, and that's about it. So he is an amazing defensive fighter, boxer, probably greatest ever. Whether people want to say it or not, he probably is. And so we got him, a great defensive fighter. He usually wins by decision. So by that I mean he doesn't have a lot of power in his punches. He's probably not going to knock out Conor McGregor, but his job is to pretty much control the fight for the entire 36 minutes. That's usually what he does to win a fight, and then he wins by decision. So each round, fighters get a score of 1 to 10. And I think you usually have, 1, 2, or 3 judges. I don't know how many judges there are in boxing, but usually you have judges, and then they average the score, and one judge can give them a 10, the other can give them an 8, 7, whatever. I think that there's just one judge. So anyways, so usually he just wins like 7, 8, or 9 of the rounds with a 10 out of 10, and then he just doesn't knock them out, and he just wins by decision. And now we got this Conor McGregor guy. Conor McGregor is a lot younger. He's 29 years old. He is an MMA fighter, UFC champion, two-time champion. He held 2 belts at once in different weight classes, and he pretty much only wins by knockout, which is why this is slightly interesting. Conor McGregor, for those of you that don't know, he pretty much wins with just his left hook. He wins with a 1 punch, just because he's strong with his left hand. Now, he's also a great defensive fighter, too. Don't get me wrong, he has good ground game and stuff, but we're just going to talk about his boxing ability. So his boxing ability is going to be substantially worse than Floyd Mayweather, because Conor McGregor's not a boxer. Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer maybe ever. And so the only reason why this fight is interesting is because Conor McGregor's power in his punches is probably better than anyone else for his weight class, including in a lot of boxers, too. And so the theory behind this fight, why people are actually betting on Conor McGregor to win a little bit, is because all it takes is 1 punch. Conor McGregor knocked out one of the greatest UFC fighters in essentially 5 seconds, or 10 seconds, or 13 seconds, just with one quick hook. That's it. So he is one of the most powerful punchers for his weight class there is in the world. And so if you were to catch Floyd Mayweather with one of the punches, with 1 punch, then he could theoretically win this fight. However, because Floyd Mayweather is such a good defensive fighter, I don't expect it to happen. So in conclusion, I do think that Floyd Mayweather is going to win this fight. I don't think that Conor McGregor is going to be able to knock him out. That's just my personal opinion on the fight. However, again, there is that chance, that small chance. Just one punch to the head and Conor McGregor can win. So what we're seeing in Vegas actually on betting is that most of the money's going to Floyd Mayweather, as it should be. However, we're seeing actually a little bit more money going to McGregor because we think he could actually knock him out. So that's the kind of the overall fight conclusion. Hopefully I broke that down for people that don't know a lot about boxing or MMA or anything. That's what this fight is about. It's about probably the greatest boxer ever, even though he's not a heavyweight, so people don't really know him as well as like a Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. He's 5'8", by the way. He's 5'8". Floyd Mayweather's 5'8", maybe 5'7". Conor McGregor does have a height and reach advantage too, which is also big because the biggest comparable fight is Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao was again, I talked about him. He was from the Philippines. He was a great fighter. He was similar to Conor McGregor in the sense that he won a lot of his fights in boxing by knockout, by simply having a really powerful punch. However, the difference between him and Conor McGregor is that Manny Pacquiao was like 5'5" or 5'6", and his reach was much shorter than Floyd Mayweather. Conor McGregor is much taller, longer reach. Conor McGregor's like 5'9". His reach is probably 5 inches more than Manny Pacquiao's was. So I think that Conor McGregor does have a better chance to beat Floyd Mayweather than Pacquiao did, in my personal opinion. So anyways, that's the fight breakdown. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much. This was some business talk. This was a fight breakdown. You guys are going to hear about this in the news, especially in about 2 or 3 months. You're going to see this crazy amount of money in this fight. I mean, think about that, $46,000 per second. Per second. Maybe I should start boxing a little bit. Actually, funny enough, I did do a little bit of, I signed up for this course in high school. We got to pick our own gym course because we had a pretty big high school. There was different gym classes in high school. So there was one football course. I ended up taking that one. There was a rugby course. There was a workout course. And there was an MMA course. And I took that one. And I did that for a few months, actually. We learned wrestling, boxing. We had kickboxing. We ended up having to combine all those into some mixed martial arts. And I really had a lot of fun. MMA is really fun. If I didn't get any concussions from hockey for my first 6 or so, I got 6 concussions from hockey. If I didn't get any of them, I would have probably maybe continued with some of the kickboxing and stuff, but I couldn't risk it. It's a lot of fun. So I am a sports fan. I don't talk about this a lot on this channel, but I am a sports fan. I follow hockey, baseball, and basketball mainly, but I always pay a little bit of attention to some football, some soccer, and fighting. So I'm really excited for this fight. I might actually watch it. I didn't watch the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, but probably watch this one. I think it's a little bit more interesting in my mind. So that's going to wrap this video up. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. What do you guys think on this fight? Who do you think is going to win? Are you guys an MMA fan? What do you think about this crazy amount of money that they're going to make? It's unbelievable. So anyways, leave that in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win? What are your thoughts on the fight? Are you excited? Are you not excited? And so on. So thank you very much for watching. You're all very beautiful people. I'll see you guys in the next video.